We're all so connected no matter where you live on the planet. We all breathe the same air, drink the same water, and enjoy the same sun. We even enjoy the same food on occasion. Today we're going to be talking about eco-vegan activism. My friend, Paige Parsons Roach, is joining the show today. Paige is passionate about helping to raise awareness about how we all contribute to helping to change the world. Here we go. We are so excited. These right here, my friends, these are Tibetan bells. They still have the tag on them. My husband just brought these back for me. He's not really into the spirituality stuff that I talk about here on the show, but he loves me anyway, and he knows what I enjoy. Compassion. That's what we're talking about today with my friend, Paige Parsons Roach. Hi. Yay! She is a vegan activist, you guys, amongst other things. Yes. Tell a little more about yourself before we get going.
Well, I call myself an eco-vegan, and I also go by the Instagram name Vegan Ramba Mama because I like to bring in the food, the planet concerns, and ways in which we can help the planet as well as spirituality.
Yes.
So all of that wrapped into one makes it the Vegan Ramba Mama that I am.
I am so excited. Yeah. And I'm telling you what, vibration of sound like these bells, but sound of the vibration of our energy is so important to me. And I've known Paige for quite some time now, and I love the vibration that you're putting out there in the world.
Thank
I
you.
Really do, and I'm so excited that you're here on this show.
I'm excited
you guys,
as well.
This is Paige. I'm Maria. This is the Strong Body, Strong Soul show, and we're going to get going with the interview in just a moment. Thanks for joining us. Before we begin, I just want to let you know that we are going to be talking in part about cows. I love cows, they're so cute. But Paige is very passionate about raising awareness about humans, how they treat the cows on this planet. Hi, hello. I am so excited to have Paige Parsons Roach here with me. That's right. She's been on the show before. She's a vegan activist. And we've had prior discussions about the things that she does out here in the world to raise awareness.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm Maria. This is the Strong Body, Strong Soul show. I so appreciate you for tuning in. It's worth our energy, our love, and our vibration going out there into the world to help other people shift their thinking a little bit. Paige, tell me what you've been doing lately.
Okay.
What do you see out there that's changing?
Oh my gosh, so much. I really do. I know that right now we're in a time that's challenging, I think, in a lot of ways. I will say in the space, the eco-vegan space that I am involved with, let me back up and just say I first started out as a real true environmentalist. I was part of the banning the plastic bags. I know some people don't like that, but it's for the better for their environment. And also part of the movement for ridding plastic straws and coming up with other solutions for straws that now a lot of people across the globe, many places are actually banning styrofoam and plastics and have changed to paper straws or no straws or straws on request. A lot of policy changes have happened.
Nice, yes. The world is changing.
The world is changing. And then 3.5 years ago, I was sitting next to my daughter who had already gone vegan. She was 13 going on 14. She had chosen to go vegan for the animals, for the care of the animals. And I remember thinking, okay, that's great for her. And it didn't make a resonance with me. I still went out and had my sushi and my pepperoni on my pizza. And that was just what I did. And I sat next to her and watched this film that I had been seeing. A little video, little clips from it, little information. It's called Cowspiracy. The same directors also directed a documentary called What the Health, which a lot of people have seen and have since changed their diets to a plant-based diet, or maybe they'll go with meatless Mondays on Mondays. That's a global movement.
Let me back up for a moment, because that would be so interesting. You know, I interviewed Rose Beamer a while ago, and she was mentioning similar movies.
Yes.
One of these times, we should specifically talk just about one of the movies. And really share with you guys. Because the whole point of social media, the whole point of this show is to condense things. Everybody doesn't have time to go out there and watch all the movies and read all of the books. And that's what happens. We feel like a deer in the headlights because there's so much information that people get overwhelmed and they don't want to listen to any of it. So if we could take little bites, if you would, if we're talking about food, but little bits of information. And that is the beauty of sharing our voices and our perspectives. Because like Paige is saying, if there are particular things in Cowspiracy that really strike a chord in you and help you change, for us to share even those 3 things, even without the viewers needing to go to that movie, I will put a link or I'll list the movies that Paige is talking about.
Great.
But I think it's so beautiful. I think it's just so amazing.
Well, speaking of, just one of the things that really had such an impact on me and had me literally go vegan after watching that film, like I literally said to my daughter, I'm going vegan right now. And I was sitting next to her knowing that there's a planet there for her in the future. And yet I was starting to see these statistics are coming up on the screen. And one of them is, so I even have turned on, I've been known to turn off the shower when my son goes past a 5-minute mark. And I've relaxed a little bit on that.
Talk about a dragon mom.
But I just said, come on, you know. Meanwhile, when I realized one of the statistics is that it's 6 months worth of showers, 6 months for one hamburger, one burger made from beef, cow products, cow body parts. That really startled me, that one meal was 6 months of showers, and that startled me because the amount of water it takes to
process
grow the
meat?
cow. To grow the cow. Remember I was saying, well, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, and another iteration is that the soy that we feed the cows and the animal and the products that we feed the animal agriculture takes a lot of water to grow. So it's one of the it is the most inefficient food sources is when you eat animal products because you're using other sources to feed the animals, to grow
that they
the animals.
normally would not eat.
Exactly.
In nature.
In nature, they eat grass. They don't eat green. They don't eat. And we also use, well, on another note, we use 70% of the pharmaceuticals are used on animals, and used for animal agriculture. So who's getting that byproduct? Who's actually ingesting that?
Right.
So back to the cows, when I saw 6 months of showers, I don't understand exactly. So a lot of the water goes for the cows to live
growing
and grow,
the cows,
but then also the crops that they feed the cows with. So I went, okay, doing the math. If I just went straight to the crops and ate the grain or the organic soy, right? If I ate the organic soy or I ate not the grain but the plants, right? The vegetables, the fruits, the grains, the beans, then I would be cutting out all that inefficient food sourcing.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. But how does this play into dairy cows?
Okay, so a lot of people don't know this. This was something I learned later. So let me just back up too. So I went into being a vegan because of the environment. And I ran into someone at a local market who actually directed an incredible film called Earthlings. And he also another film called Unity, which I think you'd really like, Unity. And Earthlings shows and exposes what happens in the slaughterhouses and what happens in the factory farms and where we raise our animals, where we raise the animals for food. And he said, there's really 3 reasons people go vegan. 1 is for the environment, 2 is for the animals, and 3 is for health. Those are 3 main reasons. And I said, oh, okay, good. I'm for the health. And then it struck me later, I talked to someone else who said, well, a lot of times somebody who goes into veganism for their health or for the planet doesn't necessarily stick with it. They don't necessarily stick with it, like especially with health. They feel better and they say, oh, I can keep consuming. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. I learned about the dairy cows, and that's what really had me shift about the animals. So what happens with the dairy cows is, first of all, they're not making love out in the green pastures. That's not what is happening. They're being forcefully impregnated. So they create more cows,
dairy cows.
More dairy cows. The male cows, the baby boys become veal. Or they become, they get grown for slaughter for later. And the female cows then become put into what they call the system. Essentially, they get taken from their mother. Basically their babies are stolen from them. So it's basically, they're stealing. They're taking the milk that's meant for their babies, and now the dairy cows, the calves, get fed formula. Okay, and then they become part of the system where they're going to be back into the system making cheese, yogurt, milk, cow's milk, and so forth for human beings to consume.
So let me go back. The term
Yes.
eco-vegan
Yes.
means just this.
Just means
being a vegan.
Yeah.
And being concerned about the environment. And you said, though, if people just change for their health and for the environment, what's the third thing?
For the animals.
For the
care of
animals
the
themselves.
Exactly.
Where does caring about the future generation fall in?
I
Is
would
that a
say
number
that's
4? That would be my first.
Well, sure. I think that's probably falling into the environment, the planet.
Yeah,
Because, you know, and again, there's so many other reasons people are going vegan now. These were sort of the 3 main reasons.
Right.
And a lot of people can kind of find themselves in there.
Right.
One of the things we were talking about earlier is there's a whole movement in the environmental space, which I'm thrilled about. And we could talk about setting intentions, just to circle back to one of the things that, you know, you and I have always connected on a spiritual sense. So I set an intention at the beginning of the year that the environmentalists would see the connection with the veganism, plant-based, and the vegans would see the connection with the environment and understand what that means about taking care of our planet, as far as no plastics and going topless, you know, not having a lid.
Topless?
I say topless.
Because sex always has to work its way into the interviews here at Strong Body, Strong Soul. But listen, let's take a little break for a moment.
Great. Okay, sure.
And we're going to switch gears, and I want to talk to you about your work with Jane Velez Mitchell.
Fantastic.
Okay? So we're going to get back in just a moment. Paige is doing an amazing job out here in the world. We'll be right back.
See you in a minute.
We share this planet with so many great creatures. Thank you for sharing the planet with us. Thank you for being here. We are back with Paige. Here we are. One of the most passionate things that you are about is changing the environment, helping protect it, helping people in everyday life make it as easy as possible to be environmentally friendly.
Absolutely.
So what do you have to share with us right now?
I'm all about accessibility, you know, having things so that it's convenient for you. So I totally suggest in your car that you have some sort of bamboo, or you can also use just your kitchenware, your silverware, maybe buy an extra set. But I have what's called a spork, which is a fork on one side and a spoon on the other.
Nice.
And I do sell these. I found these in Hawaii last summer. This actually supports a youth group learning more about the environment, and then they spread it on. Yes. I also encourage people to bring their own straw if they like to drink out of a straw.
Yes.
So I carry a metal straw with me. I don't sell these anymore, but you can get them everywhere, which is phenomenal.
Nice.
And then I also encourage people to bring their own jars for drinks. So if you're going to get a drink, a lot of people will let you. Like if you're going to go and get a soda drink if you prefer, or you know, lemonade or whatever, they don't mind putting them into a nice big glass jar.
Nice.
They have them available at the markets. Mason jars and so forth.
Now, the most brilliant thing about all of this is I think like this show and just talking to you here, we are in Southern California, in case you didn't know, but wherever you are in the world, you can take what Paige is saying and think about it. And that's what this show is about. A little bit of shifting. And I love the way you describe things, making it as easy as possible.
As easy.
Because even with the markets in our area, you're not supposed to use the plastic bags anymore. Sometimes I forget my market bags at home or in the trunk, and I will leave that market with the cart and put the groceries directly in my trunk.
Yes, I love it.
I want to save the environment, but I also don't want more bags in my house. I have bags.
Abundance.
Yeah, I don't need them. I don't want them anymore.
Exactly.
Sometimes I bring extra bags, the paper ones from Trader Joe's, extra, and I hand them out to the people in the line. Why not share? Why not share, right? So let's talk about your work with Jane Velez Mitchell.
Absolutely.
You've been working, she's on TV.
She is on TV.
Tell us about her.
I'll tell you a little bit about her. Jane Velez Mitchell was with CNN for many years, Headline News, Nancy Grace. She was a news reporter, an anchor, 40 years in the business. And when she left that career, she decided she had been at a march. She's been an animal activist for many years, 20 plus years. She's also sober like me. I'm 8 years sober. And she's 20 years plus. And she was at a march or some event, and it was raining, and there was about 300 people there, and no media, no mainstream media. It was like a blackout on the media. And she went live right as Facebook Live was starting out. So she went live on Facebook and was able to show thousands of people. And she had, when she left CNN, they said, take your social media with her. She had over 1 million followers on all of her different iterations. And Twitter was out too. And Twitter's going strong now, but I don't think Instagram was there yet. So meanwhile, I had met her at an event, and she has a show called Lunch Break Live.
Lunch Break
Live, where she shows, and because now I'm the booker for the show.
Nice.
We
in the Los Angeles area.
In the Los Angeles area, although we travel too. We do some traveling, and we have 70 correspondents around the world that are bringing information that is not available on mainstream media per se.
Interesting. Similar information. Like someone in London could be at a vegan street fair and share the information over to here.
Exactly.
Your straws, your sporks, all that
all
stuff.
All kinds of things. And
all
we focus
on global community.
We focus on how we can better the planet.
Love that.
And the various ways, and specifically with animal agriculture, animal rights, and human rights. Basically voices for the voiceless.
Nice.
That's what it's about. So there are 70 contributors around the world. You become a contributor, you sign an agreement. We're all volunteers. I work with Jane on the specifics of the Lunch Break Live. So I do have that piece that I get to work with her. And like I said, we have different chefs. We go to restaurants on Mondays.
Very
and we
cool.
highlight the restaurants in the local area, but we also travel out.
Right.
And
fascinating.
Again, we have correspondence. So we have movers and shakers, and we have the regular person who wants to cook and bring about positive mindset, body, mind, spirit change, and teach people how to cook in the kitchen.
Beautiful. Now, on that
note, one bite at a time.
Thank you so very much for being here and sharing all of this great information with us. To conclude our interview, I wanted to get back to that global community that we're always talking about, but the vibration of our voices. The vibration through the sound bowls that I work with during meditation workshops. Sometimes the people that you love the dearest, that are closest to you, don't share that same passion. And that's okay. We continue to shine, and we continue to use our voices. We continue to keep that vibration going strong through the world. So I'd love to take a moment with you. And just from this interview, just really bless everybody out there who's listening or watching. Do what's in your heart. You know, people can talk about environmental veganism. They can talk about so many different things, gun control. There's so much chaos in the world. And we all have our special niche and our need for our voice to be heard. And then we can keep talking about it. You cannot force anyone else to believe the same way that you do. All you can do is put your best energy, be the best that you can be. So I want to thank you again.
I want to thank you, because one of the things is the more information that we put out there. I didn't know. I was 3.5 years ago. I didn't know. And then I learned, and that's what had me shift.
Right.
Once I found out more information, that's what had me learn and shift and know. And it's all about, I say, doing better. And I also think it's feeling into your heart and finding what you feel is the right thing. And when you have the information, you know, Leo Tolstoy talks about how, there's the wake-up call, talks about how important it is that when you see suffering, that you act on it rather than just let it be. So if you don't know, then you don't know. But once you uncover what you know, then taking action towards what you know is aligning your values with you're aligning your actions with your values.
You were saying something so brilliant right now, but let's just be quiet and use this sound as a meditation. It's a nice ring. Sometimes life turns in different ways, right? I hope you had fun listening to this conversation today with Paige. She is so beautiful. I want to thank you so very much for tuning in. Make sure that you share this show or some of the insights that we're sharing if you feel like the vibration of our voices is meant to travel. I want to thank you for spending time here at the Strong Body, Strong Soul show. I want to encourage you to subscribe to this show. Please feel free to send comments and review the show. Get in touch with Paige. Go ahead and check the show notes, the movies that she is talking about, and her information is contained in the notes for you guys, wherever you are on the planet. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm Maria, just in case you forgot.